Fenit has been a fishing village for generations. We hear firsthand the challenges and dangers of the sea, and yet the love of the sea as a way of life.
We leave the pier there around, I suppose, 5:30. Some mornings we leave at 5. And we'll be up around 4 o'clock in the morning, and things have changed an awful lot in the last few years. And boats are safer, and pots have changed an awful lot. We started, it was only French pots and timber pots that time, and we would haul them 4 times a day. And now it's all steel pots, and haul them once a day, and that's it. The system we have there for hauling the pots takes the back brake out of it. It's a great system once it's set up right. Years ago there was plenty of crew around, and so you're down to 2 people now working the boat, and you have to have it set up right and make it as fast as possible, and you know, it works well. Like once it works well, it works well. But we're very happy with it, and we've got some pulling pots over the side. Shooting there, it's a dangerous, much dangerous part of the potting game. I suppose anything can happen very fast. And 5 years ago there it happened with a friend of mine, Patrick Egan. Got caught in the ropes and was dragged out. We were lucky to get him back. But it is a dangerous, the biggest part thing to do is just stay out of the way. Don't even touch ropes or pots, just leave them off. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't stop them. The boat doing 7 knots, 8 knots, shooting pots. Just stay out of the way. It's the biggest part of that job, is just stay out of the way. The fishing game, it's a tough game. There's nothing like coming in there in the evening and passing the lighthouse and passing in St. Brendan, the statue. You know, it's either in you or it isn't in you. A lot of people have tried and failed, and you either have a love for it or you don't, right in your blood. Nice fine day, there's nothing like it.
People often ask me on the pier why we stay so close to the shore to fish shrimps, but that's where you get them. The shrimps are in close in early August, and they move out a little bit, a couple of 100 yards from the shore as the months go on. We fish from August to December usually, and after that the shrimps seem to disappear out of Tralee Bay. I have a few shrimp pots already set for the last couple of weeks, but I haven't been out as the weather has been bad, so I'm going to shoot a few more and add them to the strings. Pots I use are French shrimp pots. I find them the best. A lot of people around here in Kerry use them. They're used all around the coast. We fish them in strings of 20 to 25. 25 I use, and I find 25 is plenty. The bottom of the bay where we fish is usually sandy, silty kind of a bottom where there's a little bit of weed. That's where the shrimp seem to live. They vary. They can go from one area one day and then be in a different area another day. They're funny little characters. you can see, when the pot comes in, it has to be emptied, and crabs and shrimp have to be emptied out of it, and it has to be rebaited for shooting again. By the time I have that done, the next pot is coming in, so you're constantly on the go. The day is fine today. It's nice and comfortable working out here, but if you get a bad day, it's a different story altogether. It's very uncomfortable and can be dangerous at times. I've been out here now for about the last 6 or 7 hours hauling and shooting shrimp pots, and I'm just on my way back into the pier. When you get into the pier, then your work isn't finished yet. You have to grade all the shrimps and let the small ones are put back into the water to go free again, and the 9mm grader we're using, as you can see there, it keeps the bigger shrimp. So you hold on to them and you have to store them until the buyers come and you sell your catch. Come the 1st of August next year, I hope to be back out here fishing shrimp again, and hopefully those little juveniles we let go will be there for us next year.
According to records, that there was oysters being harvested in Tralee Bay area back in the early 1800s, and it was usually done by the local landlords like Stokes and Gunn, and you had the Donovans, you had Robert McCown, but they just relay the oysters in certain parts of the bay area, and the local people who used to fish them for them, you know. I started fishing in the early 1970s, and you could fish away from 9 to 5 for 5 days a week at that time. But later on in 1977 there was a bylaw brought in which cut back on the days and the hours which you could fish, and what time you could start and what time you could finish, which made an awful difference to the fishing and probably improved the fishing. Also there was a big cutback in the number of boats that were fishing, from 150 down to present day half that, 77, 78.
Initially when I began work in Tralee Bay, stock levels were at a very low level. Following heavy harvesting in the late 70s, early 80s, stock levels had dropped to just under 7 tonnes per annum with 70 boats. However, following considerable work, particularly with the introduction of mussel shell as a culture medium to increase the settlement of the oyster spat, production has been brought into or up to a level of a few hundred tonnes.
We're heading down here this morning for to go oyster fishing in Tralee Bay, something that's been done here since the late 1800s. We have a nice fine morning this morning, sort of a typical morning for oyster, frosty and clear. Tralee Bay is fairly sheltered, but there are some times where you can get a lot of wind here. Might be such a pleasant place on lots of days, but this morning's a lovely fine morning anyway. The method of catching oysters in Tralee Bay is the same as it always has been, is that you tow a dredge after the boat, and you tow it for a length of time that actually varies with the state of the tide at the time and wind and currents. As the dredge hits the bottom, we towed along, and it skips along and digs into the sand. It picks up your oysters, of course, lots of debris, lots of bottom culch, as would be called, dead shell, and seaweed, stones, crabs, all sorts of stuff. And we tow it, as I said, just long enough for a thick little fill, and then we haul it back on board for clearing. Once we haul the dredge back on board, it's landed out on the table for clearing. We just empty it out, throw it back out again, tow away again, and as we're towing, we actually have go through the process of clearing the table, picking out your big oysters, which most people, after being up here for a couple of years, they can sight the oysters, as they have to be 78mm in size. Other than that, you, by regulation, then you have to ring all the oysters. We've had a safe, successful day of fishing. We're on our way, and we land our oysters into a facility on the pier, which is run by Trinity Oyster Fisheries Society, our co-op. Our oysters have to be landed in, verified for quota, checked for size, cleanliness, they're bagged and weighed, we get our docket for our day session. And that's another successful day fishing completed. So we hope to be able to get tomorrow for the same thing, and hope our fishery continues the way it has been for the last couple of years anyway.
The weather now is just after coming right, and we're heading off for the Loop Head fishing grounds, and we'll be there for the next 3 or 4 days hopefully, if the weather holds up. The fishing it's still fine, it's going away alright, except for the quotas. The quotas are the big problem now. And everything else is normal, much the same as the old days. I'd say we'll be alright for the next couple of days anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, we're tied up a long time now. We're tied up nearly 3 weeks now without getting out. So we're 3 weeks tied up. Hopefully we'll get there a couple of days out of it anyway. We badly need him now.
This boat was especially built for a 2-man operation. Myself and my father, which were fishing for the last 25 years together or more. And everything has to run smoothly and perfect. Some of the dangers when you're hauling and shooting the gear, you have big trawl doors at the side. They weigh nearly half a ton weight, and they can just spring and go from one side of the boat to the other without you even seeing it. Everything has to go clockwork in this boat because there's only two of us, and you've a lot of gear to haul and you've a lot of stuff to do, so we must everything must be perfect aboard the boat, and we must work perfect together. And there we have the nets being hauled in, and we have the 2 bags of fish just arriving up to the back of the boat, and we'll be taking them in over the stern of the boat now and taking the catch out of the nets. We fish in about 100 feet of water at times, and sometimes when we open our nets there'll be deep sea fish in it, different fish we mightn't have seen at all, and there could be, they had lobster and they had crayfish and things like that. He's nice for the pot for the dinner. And when we haul in the nets and leave go all the fish, we shoot back the nets back again, and we go fishing again for about another 4 or 5 hours between hauling the nets. This goes on 24 hours a day, just hauling and shooting. When you're at sea for 6 or 7 days and you're coming in and you see the lighthouse, it's always friendly to see the lighthouse, and you get a lovely feeling that you're going home, so you do. And when you're around the lighthouse and heading for the pier, and my wife and family are always waving up at the pier waiting for me to come in, and it's a lovely feeling to see them, so it is.